Hello everybody, I am the Solo Gamer, and welcome back to Civilization 5, this time with a new series. Yes, I am doing a new series, and by the title, you can already tell that I'm going to be playing as Canada in the Earth 2014 mod, which is a mod that is basically the world as we knew it in 2014. It's true start location, with all of the leaders and all of the cities and countries of 2014 in their true start locations, which is actually really cool. It also adds a lot of depth when it comes to diplomacy, whereas historical rivals will technically still be historical rivals, like North Korea is still going to hate the Western world, it's still going to hate America. Stuff like that is still going to happen, so it's really cool, and I love it, I really do. So, without further ado, we're going to get into the game here and take a look. Okay, for the custom game, for the custom map, we're going to be choosing the Earth 2014 Huge 2. The difference between Huge 1 and Huge 2 are essentially Egypt and Nigeria are in Huge 1, whereas in Huge 2, Israel and North Korea are substituting for Egypt and Nigeria. And not that I don't like Egypt and Nigeria, because I do, but I think that Israel and North Korea are more interesting countries in terms of politics, so I really want them in the game. And plus, it's North Korea. I mean, we gotta have North Korea in the game. So yeah, that's why we're doing Huge 2. Okay, as for the difficulty, we'll choose Emperor, of course. That's what the Netherlands series was, and I'm going to keep with that. Okay, as for the leaders, yes, so you can play as, like, Barack Obama or Vladimir Putin, Angela Merkel, Dilma Rousseff, all these great leaders in great countries around the world. David Cameron, United Kingdom. Well, not recently, but Tony Abbott, Australia. He's not there anymore, of course, thank God. Kim Jong-un of North Korea. Goodness me. Francois Hollande from France. I don't even know how to say a lot of these. Xi Jinping from China. Okay, so we're gonna go back out to Stephen Harper, which is over here, and choose him. And yeah, without further ado, I'll explain all these abilities and stuff once we get into the game. So yeah, we'll jump in. Now, sadly, we don't have a narrator for the amazing description right here that kind of narrates what the world is like in 2014. And basically it outlines all the problems in the Middle East, the Chinese, you know, threatening their area of apparently their control, but whatever. And some of the problems from the recession and all that great stuff. So, for Canada's unique ability, we have Northern Hospitality, which is Golden Ages last 50% longer, which is great. And when declaring friendship, Canada and their friend gain a 10% boost to Great Person Generation, which is really good, actually. Their unique unit is the Leopard 2 tank, which is a fast and powerful late-game unit. Only Germany, Canada, Indonesia, and Turkey may build it. So, a lot of the unique units from this game are kind of shared with a bunch of other countries. So, you're not going to really have something unique, per se, but it is kind of interesting. And, of course, we have the hockey rink. This is not shared with other countries because it is Canadian. It is Canada. This is what Canada built. Its greatest achievement, hockey, which is great. So, for happiness, and it replaces the stadium. Without further ado, let's go ahead and begin our journey in the wonderful world of 2014. 1 year ago, actually almost 2 years ago, which is kind of interesting. So, as you can see at the very top of the screen, we have people completing the Manhattan Project. This is 2014. Nuclear weapons are a thing. They've been used. So, don't be surprised when we see that in the very beginning of the game. It's not that scary. Unless you look at America, which starts the game with a bunch, and I bet you Russia does as well. I just can't see it. Right, so, yeah, so we have all those Manhattan projects, and you can actually build the Manhattan Project and work on nuclear weapons yourself as well. So we might have to do that, we might not, depending on what we want to do. Now, I want to bring up Canada as a great power. Right now, in 2014, they're just, well, they're just looked at as hockey-playing moose that drink maple syrup. I mean, that's all Canada is right now, right? No, of course not. But I want to make sure that all stereotypes are gone when it comes to Canada, and they are thought of as a great supreme leader. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and conquest. I'm not sure who we're going to conquest. It's definitely not going to be America with those, I don't know, 5, 6, yeah, 5 nuclear missiles. That's terrifying. So we're not going to do that, but we will do something on the lines of anybody that gets in our way, really. I mean, I don't want to make any judgments right now, but anybody that gets in our way of global supremacy, they're gone, right? They're out of here. Now, one thing I will say is the victory conditions for this game is kind of... I'm not sure how you win the game, to be honest. And I don't think we will win the game. Not unless I rush for a scientific victory. So I'm really not sure how I would win the game, as I said, but I'm not trying to win the game. I'm just trying to prove that Canada can become successful and great. You know, by conquering other civilizations. So I might not win this scenario, but in my own sort of twisted way, I will win the game if I successfully fulfill my goals. Okay, now one thing that is kind of hard to get past in this game are the annoying scrolling notifications on the right-hand side. So, of course, in the beginning of the game, we also have, you know, world wonders being discovered and stuff like that in certain civilizations. These are all true start as well. So you'll find the pyramids in Egypt and all that great stuff. You have the Manhattan Projects, religions. You also have spies, ideologies. Yes, so the way they kind of maintain historical rivals in this game is by giving them a specific ideology. So if we take a look over here, India and Pakistan, the two countries that really just butt heads in every single confrontation. Really, it's somewhat terrifying. But anyway, they are separated by a different ideology, so they stay enemies in this game. They have a nuclear missile, which is kind of scary, but I think India does as well. I don't know. How do we check? I really don't know. But anyway, so they separate these guys from an ideological divide. So Pakistan, I think, is autocratic in this game, and India is freedom. So they kind of butt heads anyway, which is kind of nice. And of course, you have North Korea, who is order, as well as China. So China, in real life, kind of protects North Korea. And you'll see that same connection in this game, whereas North Korea is still going to badger the hell out of America in terms of threatening them and whatever. So you'll still see that kind of pompous attitude from Kim Jong-un in this game as you would in real life, which is kind of interesting. Well, we have a lot to kind of look at here. I'm not going to go through all of these notifications. Once the game starts going and we see a lot of different relations and stuff like that, I'll kind of take a deeper look. But right now, there's just way too much. I'm just going to hit next turn, and these will all go away, so I'm not even going to look at these right now. So we have Halifax, Quebec, Ottawa, Toronto, Winnipeg, Calgary, and Vancouver. Those are the main cities that we have in Canada. We can't settle any more cities. That's the only thing that you can't do in this game. Mostly because there's not, you can't settle anywhere. There's no land that's available. Because every little piece of land is either taken up by a major civilization or a city-state, which correspond to different civilizations in real life in 2014. So we have Ecuador, we have Peru, Bolivia. Over here in Africa, we have all of the African states. Egypt, Greece. Oh no. Okay, I guess the only one that's not here is Greece, but they don't really exist anyway, right? With their economy and stuff? Yeah, alright. Well, anyway, we have Spain, we have Sweden. Denmark doesn't exist. In fact, there's no Denmark. Interesting. Okay, we also have Poland, Iceland. Iceland's there, great. So, I mean, obviously they can't be very, very accurate with the tiles that we have. I mean, look at Iberia. This is disgusting. But they've made do what they've had to do. Okay, enough of me blabbering on. We're gonna go ahead here and actually work on some production in these cities. So right now we are actually losing money per turn, which is not very good. Not very good at all. So we're going to go ahead and actually work on a bunch of buildings that can help us out here. So the first building that I want to work on is a stock exchange? I guess so. There's a couple other new buildings in this mod that we'll kind of go over as we go here. Okay, let's see. Actually, what I want to check here, we don't have any trade routes out. We have 8 slots, but no trade routes actually out right now. So, trade route overview. Let's go like this. So, it looks like Vancouver to Seoul, Vancouver to Shanghai, Vancouver to Hong Kong, Vancouver to Tokyo, Vancouver to... Okay, so Vancouver is where we're going to build most of our trade vessels. So we'll build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in Vancouver. And then... Actually, no. 6 in Vancouver. And then 2 in Halifax. Okay, let's get that done. Let's see here. Choose production. We're going to choose a cargo ship. These should be done really, really quick. And these are actually a great way to boost our income straight away. So we'll just get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then in Halifax is not... Okay, so Halifax is actually not going to be able to build these. Because if we take a look here... Well, 7 turns. I can build them in Quebec for 5... Yeah, let's do that better. That's much better, actually. And then we'll just transfer them over to Halifax. And go from there. Okay. So, in Toronto, we're going to work on... We're going to work on a temple? I'm not sure. You know what? No, we're going to work on the mechanized factory, which provides our city with 10 production. 10 production is pretty good considering we can't actually... These cities are kind of stuck, so to speak. I mean, they can grow in population. We can also improve the land around them, but we can't expand the land, if you know what I mean. Like, we can only work the land that's available to us. And Toronto is actually in a very, very bad spot, considering America has all the good production tiles. So we're going to have to, obviously, build some things to get our production kickstarted. One thing I will do before we do that is build a worker. And then build the mechanized factory. Okay, same thing in Ottawa. I will build a worker first. And then I will work on a mechanized factory. I mean, Ottawa has some pretty good production. 48, 34. Yeah, it is the most... God, 48 is the most production we have. What about Vancouver? Yeah. Crap. So one problem with Canada right now is that it's just not good. Well, that's the point of this whole game, right? I'm going to prove that Canada is strong, and we will make them strong. Believe me. Okay, Halifax, you're going to work on a university? Right? No. Stock exchange. Yes. We can also build factories everywhere. I will do that after we get our economy back on track. But right now, we don't have to worry about that. Okay, and last but not least, we have Calgary, which is going to work on a... windmill. No, stock exchange. Why do you have good production? Better production than well, that's because your population's 6. Okay. Stock exchange. Yep. Unit needs orders. Right. So we have to work on our forces. So in terms of declaring war and all that great stuff, Europe is not going to be my best target because we share the same ideologies. So attacking one of these guys is attacking all of them, including America. So this is not a great area to kind of produce our attack here. So the only other places that we can go are Africa, right? South America with Argentina. I think Argentina is... what is Argentina? Order. Okay, yep. Brazil. Oh, Brazil is order 2. Okay, so yeah, definitely South America would be kind of interesting. We can't really launch a great assault from this side. We do have boats over here, but in terms of land, we don't really have much. Well, Vancouver's kind of the same way, to be honest, but I don't know. I feel like taking land in Asia is going to be a little bit easier for us because everybody hates North Korea, and I think it's going to be easier for us to take that and gain a bunch of interesting stuff, like all this. I mean, this is a great city, regardless of the political side of things, because it has a lot of production. So that might be good to do. Although, it is kind of trapped. You know, they can't get a navy out and stuff like that, so it is kind of cut off. Alternatively, we also have Mexico, but I think Mexico is the same way. I think it's freedom. Yeah, Mexico's free. Oh, crap. Because that would have been great. We might be able to get away with this, actually. We'll see. Let's first kind of get on the good side of Barack Obama here. And we'll go from there. Okay. I bet you other people are going to ask us for embassies and all that great stuff, so we'll kind of let them kind of tick over as the turns go here. Yeah, you're going to sit over here. Just kind of sit out of the city just so we can kind of move everybody over. I want all my things over there, even if I'm not going to attack soon. So kind of move everybody over to the western coast and get prepared, essentially. Okay, I don't care where you go right now, just move your butts over there. The jet fighter. Yes, move over to Vancouver. Okay, and we still have the faster aircraft animations mod, which definitely helps us in terms of aircraft combat and stuff like that. So we'll still be getting the same great, fast airplane combat that we deserve, really. So this is going to take a long time to get over here. Okay, that's 11 turns to get around the tip of South America. Sadly, the Panama Canal does not exist in this game, so we can't use that. Okay, let's go over here. But luckily, the submarine can go up through the Canadian glaciers, the ice, essentially. We're going to go up into the ice and get over here. Perfect. Okay, yeah, you could just kind of sit out in the open water. I don't want people to really know that you're there, but I want you know, I want you to be on guard. And this destroyer can kind of sit over here. Last but not least, we're going to go into our technology here and take a look. So, one thing that I kind of like about this mod is that you would think that being so close to the end of the game would be a disadvantage. However, it's really not, to be honest, because what the mod maker did was he essentially boosted the amount of time it would take to actually work these technologies. And as for, say, like the space, you know, the spacecraft parts, they take forever to build. Really, really long to build. So it's kind of balanced in that way. So don't worry, this game will go on for a little bit longer than you would, you know, you'd imagine. So I think what we're going to work on straight away here is actually the fusion plant would be great. Yeah, I really want that because we're suffering for production. If we can get these in almost every one of our cities, we're going to be golden. Absolutely golden. So yeah, let's get the nuclear fusion. And there we go. So that was the first turn. That was the first episode. The first episode is basically all the setup. But I introduced you to the game, introduced you to the world of Earth 2014. You guys can play it for yourselves, obviously. It's on the Steam Workshop. And actually, I'll have a link in the description below, actually. I forgot to mention that before, but I will have a link in the description. Oh, look at you. You have a nuclear missile, too. They just like to showboat these, don't they? Yes, they do. So yeah, anyway, that was the first episode. I hope you guys got a gist of what this game is going to be like. And hopefully, you guys enjoy it. I hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching. And definitely, stay tuned for more.